having a conversation with a guy a few days ago, and he was talking about Charles Barkley. How Charles Barkley said that he should be kids' role models. Their parents should be their role models. Now, if you know anything about Charles Barkley, you know he played basketball. He used to be a pretty wild guy back in the day. And you know what? I used to agree with what Charles Barkley said. I used to even repeat it. Okay. However, I don't agree with that anymore. But now, don't get me wrong. Your parents should be very influential in your life. Okay. But you really think about it, man, we all have the potential to be role models. What is a role model? A role model is simply somebody who you emulate. Okay. People watch your behavior and they emulate you. You don't have to be um, a basketball player, a superstar, okay, an actor, a social media influencer on YouTube or whatever, or Facebook. You don't have to be somebody like Jesus Christ, who, by the way, was the ultimate role model. You can be little old you, and somebody can emulate you, and you're that role model. I was watching a video, okay, and it was this young boy, young black boy. I forget what happened to his father, but his father was no longer in the picture. There was a gangbanger in the neighborhood, okay, and he would go around, he would beat people up, he would sell drugs, and intimidate people. A lot of people in the neighborhood were scared of this guy. This young boy sat there watching this gangbanger. He wanted to be like that dude. He became like that guy. That guy was his role model. Okay. He became like that guy and actually ended up going to prison. And the crazy thing is, watching that video, him and that guy never had a conversation. He didn't even join the same gang. That was just his role model because he watched this guy. And in the video, I don't even think he knew this man's name. Okay. This man was not famous. Okay. Maybe hood famous. Okay. This guy was not a superstar. He was not an actor. Okay. He wasn't all that. He was a local dude, but he was a role model. Okay. I knew a guy years ago. He would go out there. He was an Asian guy, loved white women, which I don't have any problem with that. But he would go out there and get white women from other cities, bring them back to his city. Okay. Bring them back to Chicago, and he would abuse them. He would abuse them physically and verbally. Okay. Come to find out, when his relatives told us basically that he learned that behavior from his father because he saw his father abuse his mother. Okay. And his father was very abusive to women in general. So his father was his role model. His father was not a rich, famous dude. Okay. But that's who he learned from. Man, we all have the potential to be role models. I've seen time periods throughout my life where a homeless person was begging for money. Nobody was giving him anything. One person gave that person some money, and everybody else started going in their pocket to give this guy money. Okay, I've seen it. I've seen somebody walk into a restaurant, homeless guys outside the restaurant, buy him some food. Guess what? Now here goes two other people around the restaurant, go in the restaurant and buy that dude food too. Why did they do that? Because they saw that one person commit an act of kindness and they emulated them. Okay. And these were not little kids. These were grown adults. Okay. Countless times in my life, I've seen grown adults do something or say something because another grown adult did something. You can be a role model for other grown adults by the way you talk, by the way you treat people. If you go out there and commit an act of kindness and somebody sees you, hey, they may emulate you. Also, if you as a grown adult go out there and you abuse and mistreat somebody, and somebody sees that, they may emulate that as well. Not just children, okay, but grown adults as well. We never know who we're influencing, who's watching us. That gangbanger in the video, what that young boy in the video was saying, that guy didn't interact with him. That guy didn't even know him. He didn't even know that young boy was watching him and he was influencing him. And it's crazy, okay? So this idea that you have to be rich and famous to be a role model, no. We're all role models. We can all be role models, okay? You never know how you're influencing other people. I was in a gas station, Okay. This lady came in there. She left her purse at home and her car was out of gas. A dude came in there and gave her, asked her how much money she needed to get home. He gave her a couple of bucks. Okay. And she said, well, how am I gonna pay you back? He said, don't worry about it. He said, you see somebody else in the same situation, give them a couple of bucks. Okay. Now, that guy influenced her by his behavior. But also, who else was watching him might have been influenced by that person's behavior. You never know, man. You never know when you commit an act of kindness or you do something negative, who you influencing. You never know who's watching you. At any given moment, somebody could be watching you saying, oh, that dude beating up women. I want to beat up women. Oh, sorry. That lady, oh, she be running game on them dudes. I want to run game on dudes too. You never know who's watching you, man. You never know how many times on a bus, on a train, or in your community, how somebody sees what you're doing, how you treat people, how you do acts of kindness or negative acts, and they emulate you. My old neighborhood, I used to see guys in there selling drugs. Okay, these dudes was not no big drink gang bangers. They weren't no Al Capone type dudes. They were just regular guys, and I would see them young boys emulate them. They would talk like them. They walk like them. They want to sell drugs like them. They would go up to the gang bangers and be trying to, oh man, let me do this, let me do that. Get away from me, little boy. Get away, get out of here. Okay. When I was younger, I would see older men in the neighborhood drinking. You know what I would see? I would see young boys up there begging them to let them drink some alcohol. And I'm gonna tell you something. Some of the young boys probably did when they got older. They saw them old men out there drinking alcohol on the porch or doing drugs. Yeah, I'm gonna do the same thing. They grew up to do the same thing. If you go on YouTube, or I'm not a fan of Netflix. I used to watch Netflix. You wouldn't believe how many, especially seems like young men who became drug dealers, gang bangers, or got into something negative, had a role model in a neighborhood who didn't even know them or interact with them. They just saw them doing something. Okay. Everybody has a role model. And you don't have to be a rich, famous person. You can be a regular Joe Blow. I know people, man, who've told me that they see a guy in the neighborhood, a regular dude who want to work every day, minding his business, and they want to be like that person. Okay. I'll say this one last thing. There was a guy in my old neighborhood before I moved to this current one. Dude would go out there for long walks. He would jump rope. He would exercise outside. Lo and behold, now you got other guys who want to go for long walks. Now they want to go jogging. Now they want to get jump. They want to go jump rope. Okay. They're talking about, oh man, let me go up here and let me go hoop and shoot around in the morning and play basketball. And some of these were older men. Some of these were older men who want to emulate this younger man. Okay. I think this dude was like 29 or 30 years old. You had guys 40 and 50 saying, yeah, man, I see that guy going walking. I'm gonna go start doing some walking. I'm gonna go give me an exercise bike. They would talk to this guy. Okay. They want to get them an exercise bike. They would see this guy going for long walks. Okay. Jogging, jumping rope. They want to emulate him. So you never know who you're affecting. So I'm not saying any people should walk around on eggshells thinking, oh man, I've not ever seen or do anything wrong. Just maybe we should be cognizant of how our actions are affecting other people. Sometimes we don't even think about that. Just a thought. But Charles Barkley is wrong. Well, we can all be role models at any given time.